The airport parking lot, 2 p.m. The man froze when he saw the private jet land. Then he saw her, descending the stairs with 4 identical girls in pink dresses. "Remember me?" she said, her voice steady as steel. "You told me I'd ruin your life. You disappeared the day I told you I was pregnant." He stared at the quadruplets. His throat went dry. What he didn't know was that his cowardice had freed her to build an empire, and that those 4 little girls would teach him the most expensive lesson of his life. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now subscribe to the channel and let's get started. Remember me? The woman's voice cut through the airport noise. "You said a baby would ruin your career. Then you disappeared." Marcus Johnson's throat went dry. His expensive briefcase slipped from his fingers, hitting the polished airport floor with a loud thud. In front of him stood Destiny Williams, the woman he had abandoned 8 years ago when she told him she was pregnant. Destiny?" Marcus managed to say, his voice barely above a whisper. But what made Marcus truly freeze were the 4 identical little girls in pink dresses standing behind Destiny. They all had the same deep brown eyes, his eyes, studying him with different expressions ranging from curiosity to suspicion. "Meet your daughters," Destiny said, her voice calm yet firm. "Zoe, Ava, Maya, and Sophia." 20 minutes earlier, Marcus had been checking his watch in the VIP lounge at O'Hare International Airport. At 40 years old, he was at the top of his game as executive vice president at Horizon Enterprises. His tailored suit fit perfectly, his salt and pepper hair was expertly trimmed, and his calendar was filled with important meetings. Today, he was waiting for James Patterson, a potential investor flying in from New York. "Mr. Johnson, would you like another coffee while you wait?" the lounge attendant asked. "Yes, thank you," Marcus replied, not looking up from his phone as he scrolled through emails. The flight from New York was delayed, giving him extra time to prepare for the meeting. Through the large windows, Marcus noticed a sleek private jet touching down. The logo on its side wasn't familiar, but it looked impressive, probably some tech billionaire or celebrity. He watched absently as the jet taxied to a private terminal. When his phone buzzed with a message from James saying he'd be another hour, Marcus decided to walk around the airport rather than sit in the lounge. He needed to stretch his legs after sitting through morning meetings. As Marcus walked through the main terminal, he spotted a woman walking confidently toward the exit. Something about her seemed familiar. The way she carried herself, the curve of her profile. She wore a pristine white suit that contrasted beautifully with her dark skin, and her long braids were arranged perfectly. Behind her walked 4 little girls in identical pink dresses, holding hands in pairs. When the woman turned slightly, Marcus recognized her immediately. Destiny Williams, the woman whose calls he had blocked, whose apartment he had moved away from, whose life he had walked out of 8 years ago when she told him she was pregnant. Marcus stepped behind a column, hoping to avoid being seen. His heart raced as memories flooded back. He had been 28 then, on track for his first big promotion at Horizon. When Destiny told him she was pregnant after dating for 6 months, he panicked. "A baby will ruin everything I've worked for," he had told her coldly in his downtown apartment. That night, he packed his things, blocked her number, and moved to a different neighborhood. He never followed up, never checked if she was okay. Now, as Destiny and the little girls walked toward the exit, Marcus tried to back away. But as if feeling his presence, Destiny suddenly looked in his direction. Their eyes locked across the busy terminal. For a moment, neither moved. Then Destiny whispered something to the girls and began walking directly toward him. The 4 identical girls followed, still holding hands, their curious eyes fixed on the stranger their mother was approaching. "Remember me?" The woman's voice cut through the airport noise. "You said a baby would ruin your career. Then you disappeared." After Marcus's briefcase hit the floor and Destiny introduced the girls, A heavy silence fell between them. 4? Marcus finally managed to ask, looking at the identical little faces. You had 4 babies? Quadruplets, Destiny said. They were born 7 months after you left. The girls whispered among themselves, still studying Marcus. Is he really our dad? One of them asked Destiny. Marcus noticed she wore a small pin shaped like a star on her dress. Yes, Zoe. This is Marcus Johnson, Destiny answered. Another girl with a book peeking out of her small purse took a small step backward. He doesn't look like the pictures, she said quietly. People change in 8 years, Ava, Destiny replied, her eyes never leaving Marcus's face. Why is he here? Asked the third girl, standing slightly taller than her sisters, hands on her hips. I'm not here for… I didn't know… Marcus stammered. I'm waiting for a business meeting. Of course you are, Destiny said. Her voice wasn't angry, just matter of fact. Business always came first. The fourth girl hadn't spoken. She simply watched Marcus with wide eyes, clutching a small sketchbook. What are you doing in Chicago? Marcus asked, trying to regain his composure. We live here now, Destiny said. My company is opening our new headquarters downtown next month. Your company? Marcus asked. Williams Tech Solutions, Destiny replied. A hint of pride crossed her face. I started it while the girls were babies. We're expanding to the Midwest. Marcus noticed the same logo on Destiny's tablet that he had seen on the private jet. The realization hit him. That was her jet. The small programming job she'd had when they dated had somehow grown into something much bigger. I should have known you'd be successful, Marcus said, trying to smile. No, you shouldn't have, Destiny replied coolly. You never knew what I was capable of because you never stayed to find out. The girls continued to watch the exchange with intense curiosity. Can we go now, Mom? Asked the girl Destiny had called Maya. We'll be late for lunch with Aunt Vanessa. In a minute, sweetie, Destiny said. She reached into her purse and pulled out a business card, handing it to Marcus. If you're actually interested in meeting your daughters properly, call my office. My assistant will connect us. Marcus took the card, noticing the embossed WTS logo and Destiny's title, Founder and CEO. I don't know what to say, Marcus admitted. That's not surprising, Destiny said. You didn't know what to say 8 years ago either. The difference is, this time you have a choice about what happens next. She turned to the girls. Come on, girls. Aunt Vanessa is waiting. As they walked away, the quiet girl with the sketchbook turned back to look at Marcus once more. She gave a small wave before her sister gently pulled her along. Marcus stood frozen, still holding the business card in his trembling hand. Through the large airport windows, he watched as Destiny and the 4 little girls, his daughters, climbed into a waiting black SUV. His phone buzzed. A text message from James Patterson. Just landed. Meeting you at the lounge in 15 minutes. Marcus looked at the business card again, then at his phone. For the first time in his career, the important business meeting seemed completely insignificant. He had 4 daughters. 4 identical little girls he had never known existed until today. 4 lives he had missed for 8 years. Marcus picked up his briefcase with unsteady hands. The past he thought he'd outrun had just caught up with him, multiplied by 4. Marcus stared at the business card in his hand as the black SUV carrying Destiny and the Quadruplets disappeared into Chicago traffic. His phone buzzed again with another message from James Patterson, but Marcus couldn't move. The shock of seeing Destiny after 8 years and discovering he had 4 daughters kept him frozen in place. Sir? Are you all right? Asked an airport security guard passing by. The question snapped Marcus back to reality. Yes, thank you, he said, picking up his briefcase. He walked slowly back to the VIP lounge, his mind racing. 4 identical daughters, quadruplets. Their names echoed in his head: Zoe, Ava, Maya, and Sophia. He had daughters with names, with personalities, with lives he knew nothing about. When Marcus reached the lounge, James Patterson was already there. "Marcus, there you are. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten our meeting," James said, standing to shake his hand. "James, I apologize," Marcus said, his voice distant. "Something unexpected came up. I need to reschedule." "Reschedule? I flew in from New York specifically for this," James said, frowning. "I understand. It's a family emergency," Marcus replied. Family. The word felt strange in his mouth. Marcus left the airport and drove straight home to his luxury condo in downtown Chicago. He sat at his desk and typed Destiny Williams into his computer search bar. The results surprised him. The first hit was a business profile on Forbes' website. Destiny Williams. How this single mother of quadruplets built a multi-million-dollar tech empire. There was a photo of Destiny in the same white suit she'd worn at the airport, standing in front of a sleek building with the Williams Tech Solutions logo. Marcus clicked through article after article. Williams Tech Solutions specialized in sustainable technology. The company had started small but now had offices in Atlanta, San Francisco, and soon Chicago. Every story mentioned how Destiny had built the company while raising quadruplet daughters on her own. One local news article from 8 years ago caught his eye. Local programmer gives birth to quadruplets while completing degree. The article showed a younger Destiny in a hospital bed, surrounded by 4 tiny babies in incubators. The caption read, "Destiny Williams with newborn daughters, Zoe, Ava, Maya, and Sophia." Marcus felt sick. While he had been climbing the corporate ladder at Horizon, Destiny had been building a company while raising 4 babies alone. Babies he had helped create, then abandoned. His phone rang. It was Richard Blackwell, his boss at Horizon. "Marcus, where are you? You missed the investor meeting," Richard said sharply. "I had a family emergency," Marcus said. "Family emergency? Since when do you have a family?" Richard asked. Marcus took a deep breath. "I'll explain tomorrow." The next morning, Marcus arrived at Horizon Enterprises for the quarterly presentation to the board. He had barely slept, and his usual perfect preparation was non-existent. As he stood before the board members, the numbers on his slides blurred together. "As you can see from the third quarter projections," Marcus paused, realizing he had mixed up the figures. "I apologize, that should read 22 million, not 27 million. He continued, making 2 more mistakes before finishing the presentation. The board members exchanged concerned glances. Afterward, Richard called Marcus into his office. "What happened in there? I've never seen you fumble a presentation like that," Richard said, leaning back in his leather chair. Marcus sat down heavily. "I discovered something yesterday. I have children." Richard's eyebrows shot up. "Children? As in more than one?" "4 quadruplet daughters. They're 8 years old," Marcus said. Richard stared at him. "How do you just discover you have 4 8-year-old daughters?" Marcus explained about meeting Destiny and the girls at the airport, leaving out how coldly he had abandoned Destiny years ago. "Destiny Williams? The founder of Williams Tech Solutions?" Richard asked, sitting forward suddenly. "Yes. You know her?" Marcus asked. "I know of her company. They're becoming a significant player in sustainable technology. They've taken some clients from us recently," Richard said. His expression changed from concern to interest. "This could be useful." "Useful?" Marcus repeated. "A personal connection to Williams Tech Solutions could be valuable to Horizon," Richard said. "You should definitely reconnect with them." Marcus frowned. "I'm not using my daughters for business purposes." "Of course not," Richard said quickly. "I'm just saying, building a relationship with their mother could have professional benefits as well as personal ones." After work, Marcus tried calling the number on Destiny's business card. Each time he reached her assistant, who politely informed him that Miss Williams was unavailable. After 5 failed attempts, Marcus sent an email directly to the address on the card. "Destiny, I know I have no right to ask anything of you after what I did, but I would like to meet with you to discuss the girls. I want to apologize in person for my actions 8 years ago. Please give me that chance." To his surprise, he received a reply within an hour. "My office tomorrow 3 o'clock. This is not about forgiveness." The next day, Marcus arrived at the Williams Tech Solutions temporary offices in downtown Chicago 15 minutes early. The receptionist led him to a conference room to wait. At exactly 3 o'clock, Destiny walked in. She wore a blue dress with a subtle pattern, her braids pulled back in a professional style. She looked even more confident than she had at the airport. "Thank you for meeting with me," Marcus said, standing as she entered. "Let's be clear about something," Destiny said, sitting across from him. "I'm not here because I want to reconnect with you. I'm here because my daughters have started asking questions about their father, and I want to be the one who decides how that story unfolds." Marcus nodded. "I understand." "Do you?" Destiny asked. She opened a folder she'd brought with her and spread photographs across the table. "This is what you missed." Marcus looked at the photos. 4 tiny babies in hospital incubators. 4 little girls taking their first steps, holding onto a coffee table. 4 identical faces blowing out candles on a birthday cake. School pictures showing them growing year by year. "They were born 6 weeks early," Destiny said. "I was on bed rest for the last 3 months of pregnancy while trying to finish my computer science degree. Zoe was the smallest. The doctors worried about her lungs." "I should have been there," Marcus said quietly. "Yes, you should have," Destiny agreed. "But you weren't. I built a life without you. The girls have never lacked for love or support." "They're beautiful," Marcus said, touching a photo of all 4 girls at what looked like a science fair. "How do you tell them apart?" "They're identical on the outside but completely different people," Destiny said. "Zoe is the leader. She's bossy and protective of her sisters. Ava is quiet and loves books. She was reading full sentences at age 4. Maya is athletic and competitive. Sophia is artistic and sensitive." Marcus tried to match the descriptions to the faces he'd seen at the airport. "I want to know them," he said. "Why?" Destiny asked directly. "Why now, after 8 years?" "Because I made a terrible mistake," Marcus said. "I was selfish and scared. I've spent 8 years focused on nothing but my career, and yesterday I realized how empty that is." Destiny studied him. "The girls deserve to know their father," she said finally, "but this will happen on my terms. Supervised visits only at first. And if you hurt them by showing up and then disappearing again, I will make sure you never see them again." "I won't disappear," Marcus promised. "I want to be part of their lives." "We'll see," Destiny said. She handed him a piece of paper. "Lincoln Park Zoo, Saturday at 10 in the morning. The girls like the otter exhibit. Don't be late and don't bring expensive gifts thinking you can buy their affection. They need consistency, not bribery." "I'll be there," Marcus said. As Destiny gathered the photos, she paused on one of the girls as babies. "You missed all this by choice," she said quietly. "Remember that when they ask you why you weren't there." Marcus nodded, the weight of his past choices heavy on his shoulders. "I know, I can't change the past 8 years, but I want to be there for the next 80. Destiny looked up at him, her expression guarded. "One step at a time, Marcus. Saturday, 10 o'clock. Don't make promises you can't keep." As Marcus left the Williams Tech Solutions building, he felt both nervous and determined. In 3 days, he would meet his daughters properly for the first time. He had no idea what to say to them or how they would react to him. All he knew was that he couldn't walk away again. The 4 little girls with his eyes deserved better than the man he had been 8 years ago. Somehow he had to become the father they deserved. Marcus spent the next 3 days reading every article about child psychology he could find. He searched how to reconnect with children after absence and what to say to kids you've never met. By Saturday morning, His apartment was covered with printouts of advice articles and he had barely slept. He stood in his bedroom, surrounded by 4 small gift bags, red, blue, green, and purple. Inside each bag, he had placed different items based on what Destiny had told him about the girls. For Zoe, the leader, a small notebook with a star on the cover. For Ava, the reader, a children's book about brave girls. For Maya, the athlete, a small soccer ball. For Sophia, the artist, a set of colored pencils. Too much? Not enough? Marcus asked his reflection in the mirror. He had changed his outfit 3 times, finally settling on casual jeans and a blue button-down shirt. Not too formal, not too casual. Marcus arrived at Lincoln Park Zoo 30 minutes early. He paced near the entrance, rehearsing what to say. At exactly 10 o'clock, he saw them walking toward him. Destiny led the way with the 4 girls behind her. This time, they weren't dressed identically. Each wore a different colored outfit. Zoe in red, Ava in blue, Maya in green, and Sophia in purple. "Good morning," Marcus said, his voice cracking slightly. "Thank you for coming." "We're not late, are we?" asked the girl in red, Zoe, looking at him directly. "No, you're right on time," Marcus said. "We're always on time," Zoe continued. "Mom says being late is disrespectful." Destiny gave Marcus a brief nod. "I'll be sitting on that bench over there." "You have 2 hours. The girls have had breakfast, but they might want a snack later." As Destiny walked away, Marcus stood awkwardly with his 4 daughters. "So," he said, "would you like to see the otters first?" "Why did you leave us?" Zoe asked immediately. Marcus blinked, not expecting such a direct question so quickly. He had prepared an answer, but now all his rehearsed words seemed wrong. "That's a complicated question," he said. "No, it's not," Zoe replied. "You either wanted to be our dad or you didn't." The girl in blue, Ava, had opened a book and was partly hiding behind it, though her eyes peeked over the top, watching him. "I was scared," Marcus admitted. "I wasn't ready to be a father. I made a very bad choice. I was selfish." "Are you only here because you have to be?" Zoe continued her questioning. "No," Marcus said firmly. "I'm here because I want to know you all." The girl in green, Maya, stepped forward. "I bet I can get to the otter exhibit before you," she challenged. "Maya, we're supposed to stay together," Zoe reminded her. "We can all go together," Marcus suggested. "I brought something for each of you." He handed each girl the gift bag that matched her outfit. "Thank you," Sophia said quietly, the first words she had spoken. She opened her purple bag carefully. The others opened their bags too. "I have colored pencils," Sophia said, looking pleased. "I got a notebook," Zoe said, examining the star on the cover. "Mine is a book about a girl detective," Ava said, already opening it to the first page. "I got a soccer ball," Maya said excitedly. "Do you play soccer?" Marcus suddenly realized he had given each girl the wrong gift. He had matched the bags to their outfits, but the contents didn't match what he knew about them. Maya should have had the notebook with the star. Sophia should have had the book. Zoe should have had the soccer ball. And Ava should have had the colored pencils. I mixed them up," Marcus admitted. "I'm sorry." The girls looked at each other, then at the gifts in their hands. "I like colored pencils," Sophia said with a small smile. "And I like soccer," Maya added, bouncing the small ball in her hand. "This book looks interesting," Ava said, already turning to the second page. "And I write down all my ideas in notebooks," Zoe finished. "So you actually got it right." Marcus felt a wave of relief. "Shall we see the otters now?" As they walked toward the otter exhibit, the girls fell into a formation, with Zoe slightly ahead, Ava and Sophia in the middle, and Maya circling around, full of energy. At the otter exhibit, Maya pressed her face against the glass. "I bet that one is the fastest," she said, pointing to a smaller otter. "Did you know otters hold hands when they sleep so they don't drift away from each other?" Ava said, looking up from her book briefly. "I want to draw them," Sophia said, taking out her new colored pencils and a small sketchbook from her pocket. Why did you want to see us now? Zoe asked Marcus, continuing her questioning. It's been 8 years. Marcus took a deep breath. I didn't know about you until I saw you at the airport, he said honestly. After I left your mom, I never checked to see what happened. That's really bad, Zoe said flatly. Yes, Marcus agreed. It was. I can't change what I did then, but I want to be in your lives now, if you'll let me. Do you have other kids? Maya asked, turning away from the otters. No, Marcus said. You 4 are my only children. Do you know how to tell us apart? Sophia asked quietly, looking up from her drawing. Marcus looked at the 4 identical faces with their matching brown eyes and realized he couldn't. Without their different colored clothes, he wouldn't know who was who. Not yet, he admitted, but I want to learn. I have a star-shaped birthmark on my arm, Zoe said, rolling up her sleeve to show a tiny mark. Maya has 1 freckle above her right eye. Sophia has the longest eyelashes, and Ava blinks a lot when she's thinking. Marcus tried to memorize these details. Thank you for telling me. As they moved through the zoo, Marcus learned more about his daughters. Maya challenged him to a race to the lion exhibit and easily won. Ava quietly shared facts about each animal they saw. Zoe asked questions about his job and where he lived. Sophia walked slightly behind, occasionally stopping to sketch something in her book. When they stopped for a snack, Marcus bought them each an ice cream cone. Mom only lets us have ice cream after lunch, Zoe pointed out. Oh, I'm sorry, Marcus said. I should have asked first. It's okay, Maya said with a grin. We won't tell. The girls exchanged looks that Marcus couldn't interpret, having some silent conversation he wasn't part of. What are you all thinking? He asked. We're deciding if you're nice, Zoe said directly. We have sister votes about important things. And what's the verdict? Marcus asked nervously. Still voting, Zoe replied. Sophia thinks you're nice because you noticed she was drawing. Maya likes that you bought ice cream. Ava says you seem sad when you talk about the past, which means you're probably sorry. I think you're trying hard, but that doesn't mean you'll stay. I will stay, Marcus promised. I know it's hard to believe that, but I will prove it to you. As their time ended, they walked back to where Destiny was waiting. Sophia approached Marcus and handed him a piece of paper. I drew you, she said. Marcus looked at the drawing. It showed him sitting on a bench, looking uncomfortable. It was remarkably good for an 8-year-old and captured his nervousness perfectly. Thank you, Sophia. This is wonderful, he said sincerely. Maya punched his arm lightly. You weren't totally boring, she said, which Marcus suspected was a compliment. Ava closed her book. You should read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It's about siblings who stick together no matter what. Zoe stepped forward last. She handed him a folded piece of paper from her new notebook. Here's your dad report card. Marcus opened it to see grades written in neat handwriting. Showing up on time. B plus honesty. C knowing us apart. D listening. C plus trying hard. B overall. Grade C, not great but not terrible, Zoe said. You can improve next time. Next time? Marcus asked hopefully. Mom said we can see you next weekend if we want to, Zoe explained. We'll take another vote. Destiny approached. How did it go? She asked the girls. He bought us ice cream before lunch, Maya reported immediately. Destiny raised an eyebrow at Marcus. We'll discuss proper meal schedules later, she said. Girls, go wait by the fountain. I need to speak with Marcus. After the girls walked away, Destiny turned to him. They seem okay. They're amazing, Marcus said. Smart and honest and completely different from each other. I'm sorry about the ice cream. There are bigger issues than ice cream, Destiny said. Did Zoe give you the report card? Marcus nodded. I got a C overall. Better than I expected, Destiny admitted. They want to see you again next weekend. Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, at Millennium Park. 2 hours again. I'll be there, Marcus promised. Thank you, Destiny. As Marcus drove back to his apartment, he couldn't stop thinking about the 4 distinct personalities he'd met today. His phone rang through his car's speaker system. It was Richard Blackwell. How did the family reunion go? Richard asked. It went, well, I think, Marcus replied. Excellent. Did you happen to learn anything about Williams Tech Solutions while you were bonding with the children? Marcus frowned. That's not why I'm doing this, Richard. Of course not, Richard said smoothly. But Horizon needs to stay competitive. Their new sustainable energy project could threaten our market position. I'm not using my daughters to spy on their mother's company, Marcus said firmly. No one's asking you to spy, Richard said. Just keep your ears open. Family and business can coexist. Marcus ended the call troubled by Richard's interest in Destiny's company. As he parked at his building, he looked at the dad report card again. A C wasn't great, but it was a starting point. He hadn't failed completely. For the first time in his career-focused life, Marcus realized he wanted an A in something that had nothing to do with business. He wanted to be an A-plus father to 4 little girls who were giving him a second chance he didn't deserve. Marcus pinned the dad report card to his refrigerator when he got home. The C grade wasn't something he would normally celebrate, but it represented a start. He spent Sunday researching activities that 8-year-old girls might enjoy, determined to improve his grade at their next meeting. Over the next 6 weeks, Marcus established a routine of seeing the quadruplets every Saturday morning. Each visit revealed more about their distinct personalities. He learned that Zoe always carried a small notebook to write down ideas. Ava could finish books in a single day. Maya never walked if she could run. Sophia noticed details others missed. On a Wednesday afternoon, Marcus was in a board meeting at Horizon Enterprises when Richard displayed a slide showing their company's declining market share. We've lost 3 major clients in the past quarter, Richard said, pointing to the screen. 2 of them have moved their business to Williams Tech Solutions. Several board members nodded with concern. Marcus shifted uncomfortably in his chair. Their new sustainable energy project is attracting significant attention, Richard continued. We need to respond quickly or risk losing more ground. After the meeting, Richard pulled Marcus aside in the hallway. How are things going with your new family situation? Richard asked. Good, Marcus replied. I'm seeing the girls every weekend. Excellent. And Destiny, are you building a rapport there too? Marcus frowned. We're civil to each other. For the girls' sake. Has she mentioned anything about their new energy project? The timeline? Key innovations? Richard pressed. No, and I wouldn't tell you if she had, Marcus said firmly. My relationship with my daughters is separate from business. Richard placed a hand on Marcus's shoulder. I understand your position, but remember, Marcus, Horizon has been good to you. Your loyalty should be with us. That evening, Marcus received a text message from Destiny. Sophia has an art show at her school tomorrow at 5. She asked if you would come. Marcus immediately checked his calendar. He had an important meeting with investors scheduled for 5:30. Without hesitation, he replied to Destiny, I'll be there. Then he emailed his assistant to reschedule the investor meeting. The next day, Marcus arrived at the elementary school at 4:45. Parents and children filled the hallways, which were decorated with student artwork. He spotted Destiny near a classroom door. Thank you for coming, she said when he approached. Sophia will be happy. I wouldn't miss it, Marcus replied. Which one is her artwork? Destiny led him into the classroom, where dozens of paintings were displayed. She pointed to a watercolor of 4 identical girls holding hands in a garden. It's beautiful, Marcus said sincerely. Sophia appeared beside them, looking nervous. You came? She said to Marcus. Of course, he replied. Your painting is wonderful. I painted us, Sophia explained. Me and my sisters. Marcus noticed something. Is that a butterfly on your shoulder in the painting? Sophia smiled, her eyes brightening. Yes. No one else noticed that. I always draw myself with a butterfly because Mom says I was light as a butterfly when I was born. Destiny looked surprised that Marcus had spotted this detail. Throughout the evening, Marcus watched how Sophia studied his reactions to her art. He realized she was testing whether his interest was genuine. 2 days later, Marcus received another text from Destiny. Maya has a soccer game Saturday at noon. We'll need to move your regular morning visit. On Saturday, Marcus arrived at the soccer field 30 minutes early. He sat in the bleachers watching parents set up chairs and coolers. A father sitting nearby noticed Marcus looking confused. First game? The man asked. Yes, Marcus admitted. My daughter plays, but I've never seen her team before. Which one is yours? The man asked. Maya Johnson. She's one of the Quadruplets. Oh, the Williams girls. They're hard to miss, the father laughed. Maya's the fast one. Girls got serious talent. When the teams took the field, Marcus easily spotted Maya in her green uniform, running ahead of her teammates during warm-ups. When the game started, he found himself cheering loudly every time she got the ball. In the second half, Maya scored a goal. After her teammates surrounded her in celebration, she looked up to the bleachers, searching until she found Marcus. He gave her a thumbs up, and she grinned before running back to position. After the game, Maya ran up to him, still sweaty from playing. Did you see my goal? She asked. I did. It was amazing, Marcus said. You're really good at soccer. I practice every day, Maya said proudly. Most dads come to all the games. I'll come to all your games from now on, Marcus promised. The following week, Marcus received an email from Ava, sent from Destiny's account. Dear Mr. Johnson, there is a book fair at my school library on Thursday after school. Would you like to come? From Ava. Marcus smiled at the formal tone and immediately replied that he would attend. The book fair was quieter than the art show or soccer game. Marcus found Ava sitting cross-legged in a corner, already reading a book she had selected. Is it good? Marcus asked, sitting beside her. Very good, Ava replied without looking up. It's about ancient Egypt. Did you know that some pharaohs were buried with their cats? I didn't know that, Marcus said. Ava finally looked up from her book. There are lots of interesting books here. I could show you some you might like. For the next hour, Ava led Marcus through the book fair, recommending titles and explaining why each one was special. Marcus bought every book she suggested, plus a few extra for her and her sisters. You remembered that Maya likes adventure stories, Ava noted when Marcus picked up a book about explorers. And Sophia likes art books, and Zoe likes biographies of successful women, Marcus added. Ava gave him a small smile. You're learning. That weekend, Zoe was waiting with a business proposal when Marcus arrived for his visit. She handed him a neatly written document titled Johnson Sisters Lemonade Company. I need your feedback, she said seriously. We want to have a lemonade stand to raise money for the animal shelter. Marcus read through Zoe's detailed plan, which included a budget, marketing ideas, and profit projections. This is very impressive, he said. But have you considered how you'll stand out from other lemonade stands? Zoe thought for a moment. We could have 4 different flavors of lemonade, one chosen by each of us. That's a great idea, Marcus said. And you could name each flavor after the sister who created it. Zoe wrote this down in her notebook. That's actually a good suggestion, she admitted. The following week, Marcus made a decision. He cleared out the guest bedroom in his condo and hired painters to come in. He directed them to divide the room into 4 distinct sections, each painted a different color: red, blue, green, and purple. When the paint dried, Marcus went shopping. He bought 4 small beds, 4 desks, and items that reflected each girl's interests. Business books and a corkboard for Zoe's red corner, bookshelves for Ava's blue section, sports equipment for Maya's green area, and an art station for Sophia's purple space. When the room was ready, Marcus took photos and showed them to Destiny after one of his visits with the girls. "What is this?" she asked, looking at the pictures. "I made a room for them at my place," Marcus explained, "in case they ever want to stay over. With your permission, of course." Destiny stared at the photos for a long moment. "You bought 4 of everything." "They're individuals," Marcus said. "I wanted each of them to have their own space." Before Destiny could respond, her phone rang. She answered it, her expression changing to concern as she listened. "I understand. I'll be right there," she said, ending the call. "I have to go." "There's an issue at the office. Is everything okay?" Marcus asked. "No," Destiny said bluntly. "Horizon just outbid us for the Miller contract, a contract we were assured was ours." Marcus felt uncomfortable. "I didn't know anything about that." "Didn't you?" Destiny asked, her eyes narrowing slightly. "Horizon seems very interested in competing directly with my company lately." After Destiny left, Marcus called Richard. "Did we just steal the Miller contract from Williams Tech Solutions?" he asked directly. "Business is business, Marcus," Richard replied. "We offered better terms." "After you asked me for information about her company," Marcus said, "which I never provided." "We have other sources," Richard said. "By the way, the Thompson presentation has been moved to Friday at 7. Your presence is required." Marcus's heart sank. "Friday at 7? I can't make it then." "Why not?" Richard asked. "The girls have a school recital. I promised I'd be there." "A recital?" Richard's voice hardened. "Marcus, this presentation could mean millions for Horizon. These are serious investors." "I understand, but don't forget who signs your paychecks," Richard interrupted. "I've been patient with your family situation, but Horizon needs to come first." After hanging up, Marcus sat at his desk, staring at his calendar. The recital and the presentation were both marked as important. For the first time in his career, Marcus wasn't sure which one should take priority. His phone chimed with a text from Sophia. "I'm playing the moon in our space play. I have a silver costume." Attached was a photo of a small silver crescent moon painted by Sophia. Marcus made his decision. He texted back, "I can't wait to see it. I'll be in the front row." Then he emailed Richard, "I won't be at the Thompson presentation. Family commitment I cannot break. I'll send my notes for someone else to present." That evening, Marcus overheard Destiny talking to someone while he was saying goodbye to the girls after dinner at Destiny's house. "I don't trust him, Dee," a woman's voice said from the kitchen. "He walks back into your lives after 8 years and suddenly wants to play daddy?" "The girls like him, Vanessa," Destiny replied. "I have to consider their feelings." "We built this company while he was gone," the woman, Vanessa, said firmly. "We worked through your pregnancy, through midnight feedings times 4. He left you with nothing. Don't let him take credit for what you've built." Marcus quietly stepped away from the kitchen door, not wanting to eavesdrop further. As he walked to the front door, he heard small voices coming from upstairs. He followed the sound to a room with a sign that read, "Sister Headquarters, no adults allowed." "I vote yes, he should stay," he heard Sophia say. "I vote yes too," said Maya. "He came to my whole soccer game. He bought me lots of books and remembered which ones I told him about," Ava added. "I'm still deciding," Zoe said, "but he gave me good ideas for the lemonade stand." Marcus smiled to himself. He might be failing at balancing work and family, but at least 3 of his daughters were voting in his favor. As he left Destiny's house, he felt more determined than ever to prove himself worthy of their trust, even if it meant risking his career at Horizon. The Friday recital was a turning point for Marcus. He sat in the front row watching Sophia shine in her silver moon costume. When she spotted him in the audience, her face lit up with surprise and joy. After the performance, all 4 girls surrounded him, talking excitedly. "You actually came," Zoe said, studying his face carefully. "I promised I would," Marcus replied. "But Zoe said important business people always choose work over family," Maya explained. Marcus knelt down to their level. Not this time. Not anymore. As they walked to the parking lot together, Destiny approached. The Thompson presentation was tonight, wasn't it? She asked quietly while the girls ran ahead. Marcus nodded. It was. Yet you're here. I made my choice, he said simply. Destiny seemed about to say something more but stopped herself. Instead, she handed him an envelope. The girl's birthday is in 3 weeks. They want you to come to the party. Marcus opened the envelope to find a formal invitation on pink paper. I'd be honored, he said, genuinely touched. It's at my house in Highland Park. Saturday at 2 in the afternoon, Destiny added. They'll be 9 years old. 3 weeks later, Marcus stood outside Destiny's impressive Highland Park mansion, holding 4 carefully wrapped presents. The 2-story house had a circular driveway with several expensive cars parked in it. Music and laughter came from the backyard. Marcus rang the doorbell, feeling nervous. A woman he didn't recognize opened the door. You must be Marcus, she said, her tone not entirely friendly. I'm Vanessa Cooper, Destiny's business partner and the girl's godmother. Nice to meet you, Marcus said, extending his hand. Vanessa shook it briefly. Everyone's in the backyard. The girls have been asking if you've arrived yet. She led him through the elegant house to a back patio overlooking a large yard. The space was transformed into a celebration area with 4 different sections, each decorated in the girls' signature colors. In the center was a table with 4 separate birthday cakes. The quadruplets spotted him immediately and ran over. You came, Sophia said, grabbing his hand. Of course I did, Marcus replied. Happy birthday. Did you bring presents? Maya asked, eyeing the packages under his arm. Maya, Zoe scolded. That's rude. It's okay, Marcus laughed. Yes, I brought presents for each of you, but I'll give them to you later when it's time for gifts. Mom got us 4 different cakes, Ava said. Mine is chocolate with raspberry filling. And mine is vanilla with strawberry, added Sophia. I got lemon, said Maya. And I picked red velvet, Zoe finished. Mom says we can all try a piece of each one. Destiny approached, looking elegant in a simple blue dress. Thank you for coming, she said to Marcus. The girls have been watching the door. I wouldn't miss it, he replied. This is incredible, Destiny. You've done an amazing job. For the next hour, Marcus enjoyed watching the girls interact with their friends from school. He noticed how they sometimes moved as a unit but other times separated to do their own things. Maya played soccer with several energetic children. Ava sat with 2 quiet friends, showing them a book. Sophia organized an art activity. Zoe seemed to be directing everything, making sure all guests were having fun. When it was time for cake, Destiny lit 9 candles on each of the 4 cakes. Everyone sang happy birthday, and the quadruplets blew out their candles together. As the party continued, Marcus found himself enjoying conversations with other parents. For once, he wasn't thinking about business or career advancement. He was simply happy to be part of his daughter's special day. Marcus Johnson? A familiar voice called from behind him. Marcus turned to see Richard Blackwell walking across the lawn holding a gift bag. Richard? What are you doing here? Marcus asked, surprised and concerned. I was in the neighborhood, Richard said smoothly. Thought I'd stop by to wish your daughters a happy birthday. Hope that's okay. Before Marcus could respond, Destiny joined them. Who's this? She asked, her voice careful. Richard Blackwell, CEO of Horizon Enterprises, Richard introduced himself, extending his hand. I'm Marcus's boss. Hope you don't mind me crashing the party. I brought a small gift for the birthday girls. How thoughtful, Destiny said, though her smile didn't reach her eyes. The girls are opening presents inside if you'd like to give it to them. In the living room, the quadruplets sat on the floor surrounded by gifts and torn wrapping paper. Their faces lit up when Marcus approached with his presents. These are from me, he said, handing each girl the carefully selected gift, a junior business planner for Zoe, a first edition of A Wrinkle in Time for Ava, custom soccer gear for Maya, and professional art supplies for Sophia. The girls opened their gifts eagerly. "This is the book I've been wanting!" Ava exclaimed, examining the first edition carefully. "These are real artist pencils," Sophia said, running her fingers over the professional supplies. "My cleats have my name on them!" Maya shouted, already trying them on. Zoe opened her business planner, flipping through the pages. "This is actually useful," she admitted. "Thank you." Richard stepped forward with his gift bag. "I brought something too," he said, handing it to Zoe, who seemed to be the designated leader. Inside was an expensive electronic tablet. "It's the newest model," Richard explained. "All 4 of you can share it." "Thank you," Zoe said politely, though she seemed less excited about this gift than about her planner. After the presents were opened, the quadruplets approached Marcus. "We want to show you something," Sophia said. "In our sister headquarters." "Only Mom is usually allowed in there," Maya added. "It's a special exception," Zoe explained. They led Marcus upstairs to their shared bedroom. One corner had been transformed into what they called their sister headquarters, with pillows arranged in a circle and drawings covering the walls. "We want to show you our secret handshake," Ava said. "We've never shown it to any grown-up except Mom." The 4 girls demonstrated an elaborate sequence of hand movements that ended with all of them putting their hands together in the center. "We do this before bed every night," Sophia explained. "And before tests at school," added Maya. "And whenever one of us is scared or sad," Ava said quietly. "It's our sister bond," Zoe finished. "But we think you should learn it too." Marcus felt unexpectedly emotional. "I'd be honored to learn it." As the girls began teaching him the movements, Richard appeared in the doorway. "Marcus, could I have a word with you? Business matter." "Can it wait?" Marcus asked. "I'm in the middle of something important." "It'll just take a minute," Richard insisted. "In private." Marcus reluctantly excused himself and followed Richard to an empty study down the hall. "What's so urgent?" Marcus asked. Richard closed the door. "I've been watching you play Happy Families, but it's time to get serious. The board has made a decision. Horizon is going to acquire Williams Tech Solutions." "What?" Marcus said, shocked. "It's a hostile takeover," Richard continued. "Their sustainable technology patents are too valuable to ignore. We're making our move next week." "Why are you telling me this?" Marcus asked, though he already knew the answer. "Because you're our inside man," Richard said. "You've built trust with Destiny. We need access to her company documents. Find a weakness we can exploit." "You want me to betray Destiny? After everything she's built?" "This is business, Marcus. Those kids changed nothing. You're still the same ambitious man who would do anything to climb higher. And if you help us with this acquisition, you'll be executive vice president by the end of the year." "I'm not doing it," Marcus said firmly. "Don't be naive," Richard scoffed. "This is why you got close to them, isn't it? Don't pretend it was about being a father." The door suddenly opened. Destiny stood there, her face a mask of controlled anger. Behind her, 4 identical faces peered around her legs, their eyes wide. "I think you should leave, Mr. Blackwell," Destiny said coldly. Richard straightened his tie. "Think about my offer, Marcus. Opportunity only knocks once." He nodded to Destiny. "Lovely party. Congratulations on your success, while it lasts." After Richard left, Destiny turned to Marcus. "Was this all a game to you? Using our daughters to get to my company?" "No," Marcus said immediately. "I had no idea about any takeover plan." "Then why is your boss at my daughter's birthday party? How did he even know about it?" Before Marcus could answer, Zoe stepped forward. "We were listening at the door. He wanted Dad to help him take your company, but Dad said no." Destiny looked at the girls. "Go downstairs and check on your guests. I need to talk to Marcus alone." After the quadruplets reluctantly left, Destiny closed the door. "Tell me the truth. Was getting close to the girls part of some corporate espionage plan? Never, Marcus said firmly. He took out his phone, opened his email, and deleted several confidential Horizon files in front of her. Then he called Richard. "Richard, I'm resigning from Horizon effective immediately," he said while Destiny watched. "And if you make any move against Williams Tech Solutions, I'll go public with everything I know about Horizon's business practices." After ending the call, Marcus looked at Destiny. "I lost them once because I chose ambition over family. I won't make that mistake again." The door opened again as the quadruplets pushed their way in, clearly having been listening again. "Did you just quit your job?" Maya asked, wide-eyed. "For us?" added Sophia. Zoe stepped forward, her expression serious. "Are you really choosing us over your job?" Marcus nodded. "Yes, I should have done it 8 years ago." So the four girls looked at each other, having one of their silent conversations. Then Sophia stepped forward and hugged him. One by one, the others joined, until Marcus was surrounded by his daughters. Destiny watched from the doorway, her expression unreadable. The wall she had built around herself was starting to show cracks, but years of distrust couldn't be erased with a single gesture. Still, something had changed. For the first time, Marcus had chosen his family over his ambition, and everyone in the room knew it was a turning point from which there was no going back. The party guests left Destiny's Highland Park mansion one by one, unaware of the life-changing decision that had just happened upstairs. As the last car pulled away, Marcus sat on the front steps, staring at his phone. 16 missed calls from Richard already showed on the screen. "What happens now?" Destiny asked, sitting beside him but keeping a careful distance. "I don't know exactly," Marcus admitted. "But I'll figure it out." The quadruplets came outside and surrounded them, still in their party dresses. "Are you really not going back to your job?" Sophia asked. Marcus nodded. "Really? But what will you do instead?" Zoe questioned, always the practical one. "I'll start my own business," Marcus said with more confidence than he felt. "I know a lot about helping companies succeed. I can use that knowledge to build something new. Something that doesn't hurt Mom's company," Ava added quietly. "Exactly," Marcus agreed. Maya bounced on her toes. "Does this mean we'll see you more?" "If that's what you all want," Marcus said, looking at each of them and then at Destiny. Destiny sighed. "The girls have school tomorrow. It's getting late." "Can Dad help tuck us in?" Sophia asked. Marcus noticed it was the first time any of them had called him Dad instead of Marcus. The word felt both strange and right. "Just this once," Destiny agreed, "since it's your birthday." The next morning, Marcus woke up in his downtown condo and immediately checked his email. As expected, there was a message from Horizon's legal department claiming he had violated his non-compete agreement and threatening legal action. By noon, his access to the Horizon building had been cut off. A security guard watched as Marcus packed his personal items from his corner office into a cardboard box. 8 years at this company, and it ends like this, Marcus said to himself as he placed his awards and certificates into the box. "Mr. Johnson?" His assistant, Tina, appeared at the door. "I'm sorry about what happened." "Thank you, Tina," Marcus said, "for everything." "Richard is telling everyone you had a mental breakdown," she whispered, "that you chose some children you barely know over your career." Marcus smiled. "That part is actually true." 3 days later, Marcus met with Sarah Martinez, an attorney specializing in employment law. "They're claiming I violated my contract," Marcus explained in her downtown office. "But I never shared any confidential information with Williams Tech Solutions." Sarah reviewed his contract carefully. "The non-compete is aggressive but not unenforceable. They'd need to prove you caused actual harm to Horizon." She looked up at Marcus. "The bigger question is, what do you want to do now?" "I want to start my own consulting firm," Marcus said, "focusing on ethical business practices." "That's doable," Sarah nodded. "But you should expect Richard to make things difficult. He'll tell potential clients not to work with you." Marcus was right to be worried. 2 weeks after resigning from Horizon, he had leased a small office in a modest building and set up Johnson Consulting Group. The space had none of the luxury of his former executive suite, just a desk, a computer, and a small conference table. When he called former clients, many wouldn't even take his calls. Those who did seemed hesitant. "I'd like to work with you, Marcus," said Alan Peterson, a longtime contact. "But Richard called me personally. He said you were unstable and unreliable." By the end of the first month, Marcus had secured only one small client. His savings were dwindling fast. The mortgage on his luxury condo was due, and he had started selling some of his expensive watches and artwork to make payments. Despite his financial troubles, Marcus remained committed to spending time with his daughters. He created what he called daddy dates, special outings where each girl got his undivided attention. For Zoe's first daddy date, Marcus took her to his new office. He watched as she studied the small space with a critical eye. "Where are all the other workers?" she asked. "It's just me right now," Marcus admitted. "I'm starting small." Zoe walked around the room, touching the basic furniture. "What makes your business different from others?" "I help companies be successful without hurting people," Marcus explained. "That's not very specific," Zoe said, pulling out her notebook. "You need a clearer message. What exactly do you offer that no one else does?" Marcus was surprised by her business instinct. "Well, I've learned from my own mistakes. I know what happens when companies focus only on profit and forget about people." "Then that's your message," Zoe said, writing in her notebook. "You should focus on what makes you different. You've been on both sides, the greedy side and the good side." Marcus smiled. "You're right. That's excellent advice." For Maya's daddy date, Marcus took her to a soccer field where they practiced together. She ran circles around him, laughing as he tried to keep up. "You're slow," she teased. "I'm trying," Marcus panted, chasing after the ball. "You have to practice every day to get better," Maya said seriously. "That's what my coach says." "Maybe you could coach me," Marcus suggested. Maya's face lit up. "Yes, I'll make you a training plan. You have to follow it exactly." Ava chose a quiet bookstore for her special day. They sat in comfortable chairs while she explained her favorite books to him. "This one is about a girl who saves her brother from another world," Ava said, showing him the cover. "And this one has a main character who doesn't talk much but notices everything, like me." "How do you remember all the stories you read?" Marcus asked. "Books are friends," Ava explained simply. "You don't forget your friends." For Sophia's day, they went to an art museum. She moved slowly through the galleries, studying each painting carefully. "What do you like about art?" Marcus asked her. "I can show things I can't say," Sophia replied. "Like how it feels to be one of 4 same people but still be different." Halfway through their museum visit, Sophia suddenly turned pale. "I don't feel good," she whispered, and then threw up on the museum floor. "It's okay," Marcus said calmly, using napkins from his pocket to clean her up. The museum staff quickly came with cleaning supplies. "I'm sorry," Sophia said, tears in her eyes. "You have nothing to be sorry for," Marcus assured her. "Everyone gets sick sometimes." Marcus called Destiny to tell her what happened. "I'll come get her," Destiny said immediately. "I can take care of her," Marcus replied, "unless you'd prefer to have her home." After a pause, Destiny said, "She can stay with you if she wants to." Sophia chose to go to Marcus's condo, where he made her soup and set up a place for her to rest on his couch. Her fever rose through the evening, and Marcus stayed by her side all night, checking her temperature and reading to her until she fell asleep. In the morning, Destiny arrived with the other 3 girls. She found Marcus and Sophia asleep on the couch, Sophia curled against his side, and an open book of art still in his hands. "Dad took good care of me," Sophia told her sisters when she woke up. "He knows exactly how I like my soup." The following week, Marcus and Destiny sat side by side at the girls' parent-teacher conference. Their teacher, Miss Thompson, seemed pleased to see them both. "The girls are doing exceptionally well," Ms. Thompson said. "Though I've noticed they've been happier lately." More settled. After the conference, Marcus and Destiny walked to their cars together. "Richard called me yesterday," Destiny said suddenly. "He's still trying to pursue the takeover of my company. He's approaching my investors and suggesting Williams Tech Solutions is overvalued." Marcus stopped walking. "I'm sorry. I can give you information about how Horizon typically structures these kinds of deals. It might help you protect your company." Destiny looked surprised at the offer. "That would be useful. Thank you." This was the first time they had discussed something other than the girls. A small shift had occurred in their relationship. The Quadruplets noticed this change immediately. The next day, Marcus arrived at Destiny's house to find all 4 girls huddled together in the kitchen, whispering. "What are you all planning?" he asked suspiciously. "Nothing," Maya said too quickly. Later that afternoon, Zoe announced, "We need more lemonade," and sent both Destiny and Marcus to the kitchen at the same time. "They're up to something," Destiny said as she reached for glasses. "I think they're trying to get us together," Marcus replied. Their hands touched briefly as they both reached for the same pitcher. Destiny pulled away quickly. That evening, the girls insisted that Marcus stay for dinner. Somehow, the table was set with Marcus and Destiny sitting next to each other, and the girls all needed to leave at the same time to check on something important upstairs. "Operation Parent Trap is not very subtle," Marcus said when they were alone. Destiny almost smiled. "They've been watching too many movies." When the girls returned, Marcus gathered them in the living room. "I need to tell you all something important," he said. "I know you might want your mom and me to be together, but that's not how it works." "Why not?" Maya asked. "You're our dad. She's our mom." "Sometimes people can be good parents without being a couple," Marcus explained gently. "Your mom and I care about all of you very much. That's what matters." "But in movies, the parents always get back together," Sophia said, disappointed. "Real life isn't like movies," Destiny added, joining them. "What's important is that both your dad and I are here for you now." The girls looked disappointed but seemed to understand. As Marcus drove home that night, he realized how much had changed in just a few weeks. He had lost his executive position, his fancy title, and most of his income. But for the first time in his life, he felt like he was exactly where he should be. The trust he was building with his daughters was worth far more than any promotion or bonus he had ever received at Horizon. His phone rang through the car speaker system. It was an unknown number. "Hello, is this Marcus Johnson?" a woman's voice asked. "Yes, speaking." "Mr. Johnson, my name is Jennifer Lewis. I run a mid-sized tech company in Minneapolis. One of your former clients suggested I call you. I'm looking for a consultant who specializes in ethical business practices." "I'd be happy to discuss how I could help," Marcus replied, his spirits lifting. "There's one more thing," Jennifer added. "Richard Blackwell called to warn me not to work with you. That made me want to hire you immediately. Anyone who makes an enemy of Richard must be doing something right." Marcus smiled as he turned toward home. His new path wouldn't be easy, but it would be genuine. And for once in his life, that felt like enough. Marcus's call with Jennifer Lewis marked the beginning of a new chapter for Johnson Consulting Group. Within 2 weeks, he had flown to Minneapolis to meet with her company, returning with his first major client contract. The meeting room in his small office now displayed a framed copy of that contract on the wall, a reminder that ethical business could be successful business. 2 months after leaving Horizon, Marcus had established a clear routine. Mornings were for client calls and proposal writing. Afternoons were for meetings and strategy sessions. Evenings and weekends belonged to his daughters. On a sunny Tuesday morning, Marcus sat at his desk reviewing his finances. His business was growing, but slowly. The income barely covered his office rent and basic expenses. His savings were dwindling faster than new clients were signing up. His phone rang. It was his real estate agent. "Marcus, I have good news. We have an offer on your condo," she said. "What's the offer amount?" Marcus asked. When she told him, he nodded to himself. The figure would cover his remaining mortgage and leave enough to make a down payment on something more modest. "I'll take it," he said. After ending the call, Marcus opened his laptop and looked at homes in Highland Park, the suburb where Destiny and the girls lived. He had been considering moving closer to them for weeks. A small house just 3 blocks from Destiny's had caught his eye. It was nothing like his luxury downtown condo, but it had a backyard and enough bedrooms for everyone. That evening, Marcus arrived at Destiny's house for his regular Wednesday dinner with the girls. Since the birthday party incident 2 months ago, these weekly dinners had become part of their routine. "Dad!" Maya called when she opened the door. "Come see my science project. I made a volcano that really explodes." Inside, the kitchen was busy with activity. Sophia was setting the table while Ava read a book at the counter. Zoe was helping Destiny with dinner. "We're having tacos," Zoe informed Marcus. "I made the shopping list and calculated exactly how much food we need for 7 people." "7?" Marcus asked. "Aunt Vanessa is coming," Ava explained, looking up from her book. Marcus nodded. Vanessa Cooper, Destiny's business partner and the girls' godmother, still didn't fully approve of Marcus's presence in their lives. Her visits on his dinner nights felt like inspections. Destiny looked up from the stove. "The girls have news they're excited to share. We got selected for the city science fair," Maya announced proudly. "Our class project about recycling plastic got first place at school." "That's amazing," Marcus said. "When is the city fair?" "Next Thursday afternoon," Zoe answered. "Can you come?" "Of course," Marcus promised. The doorbell rang, and Sophia went to answer it. Vanessa entered, carrying a bottle of wine and a stack of papers. "Marcus," she said with a nod. "Didn't expect to see you here on a Wednesday." "Wednesday is Dad's dinner night," Maya explained. Vanessa raised her eyebrows at the word Dad, but said nothing. During dinner, the girls dominated the conversation with stories about school and friends. Marcus noticed Destiny seemed tired, with dark circles under her eyes. When the girls went upstairs after dinner, Vanessa spread her papers across the now cleared table. "We need to discuss this, Dee," she said urgently. "Horizon's latest move is serious." Destiny sighed. "Not tonight, Van. They've approached 3 more of our clients," Vanessa continued anyway, "and they're spreading rumors about production delays in our new solar panel project." Marcus, who was helping clear dishes, stopped. "That's a common Horizon tactic. They did the same thing to Green Tech last year." Both women turned to look at him. "What else do they typically do in these situations?" Destiny asked. "They'll try to poach your key technical staff next," Marcus said, "especially anyone who worked on the solar panel designs." Vanessa looked at Marcus suspiciously. "How convenient that you know all their strategies." "I worked there for 8 years, Marcus reminded her. "I know how Richard thinks." "And why should we trust that you're not still working with them?" Vanessa challenged. "Vanessa," Destiny said in a warning tone. "No, it's a fair question," Marcus said. "I left everything behind at Horizon. My career, my salary, my reputation in certain circles. I wouldn't have done that if I was still loyal to them." Vanessa still looked skeptical, but nodded. "Horizon has made another offer to buy Williams Tech Solutions. It's higher than their last one." "I'm not selling my company," Destiny said firmly. "Maybe we should consider it, Dee," Vanessa suggested gently. "You're wearing yourself out fighting them." "This company is the girl's legacy," Destiny replied. "I built it from nothing while raising 4 babies. I won't give it up." Marcus saw the determination in Destiny's eyes. "I might be able to help," he offered. "I know which investors Richard typically approaches. I could provide some insight into how to counter his moves." Destiny considered this. "I'd appreciate that." "We should discuss this more privately," Vanessa said, glancing at Marcus. Before anyone could respond, Maya called from upstairs. "Dad, can you help me fix my volcano? It's not erupting right." "Duty calls," Marcus said, excusing himself. Upstairs, he found all 4 girls in their playroom, not just Maya. "Is my volcano really broken, or was that a trick to get me up here?" Marcus asked, noticing there was no volcano in sight. "We need to talk to you," Zoe said seriously. "It's about Mom." "What about her?" Marcus asked, sitting down on a small chair. "She's working too much," Sophia said. "She falls asleep on the couch with her laptop almost every night. And she skipped breakfast again today," Ava added quietly. "We think it's because of her company problems," Zoe explained. "Can you help her?" Marcus was touched by their concern. "I'll try," he promised. "But your mom is very independent. She might not want my help." "She helped you when you lost your job," Maya pointed out. "That's true," Marcus agreed. The next morning, Marcus emailed Destiny a list of protective strategies against hostile takeovers based on his experience at Horizon. He was surprised when she called him an hour later. "This is exactly what we needed," Destiny said. "Can you come to my office this afternoon to discuss it further?" That afternoon, Marcus visited Williams Tech Solutions headquarters for the first time. The modern building featured the company logo prominently in the lobby. Destiny met him at reception and led him to her office on the top floor. "I appreciate your help," she said as they sat down. "Even Vanessa was impressed by your insights." "Happy to help," Marcus replied. "I've been on the wrong side of these tactics. It's good to use that knowledge for something positive." They spent 2 hours discussing strategy. At one point, Destiny mentioned casually, "The girls told me you're selling your condo." Marcus nodded. "It's too expensive to maintain with my new income. Plus, it's far from the girls. They'll be disappointed they can't visit your fancy high-rise anymore," Destiny said. "Actually, I'm looking at a house in Highland Park," Marcus admitted. "Nothing fancy, but it's just a few blocks from you." Destiny seemed surprised. "You're moving to the suburbs?" "The girls should be able to walk between our houses if they want," Marcus explained. "And I'm building my client base with family-friendly hours. No more late meetings or weekend conferences." "You've really changed your priorities," Destiny observed. "I spent 20 years chasing the next promotion, the next bonus," Marcus said. "I missed 8 years of bedtime stories and first steps because I thought a family would hold me back. Now I realize what actually holds you back is running from the things that really matter." Destiny studied him for a moment, then changed the subject back to business strategy. A week later, Marcus closed on his new house in Highland Park. It was a modest 2-story home with 4 bedrooms and a small backyard. The morning after moving in, he invited the Quadruplets to help him set up their rooms. "We get our own rooms?" Sophia asked, amazed as they entered the house. "You each have your own space, but you can decorate them however you want," Marcus explained. The girls ran upstairs to explore. Marcus had painted each room in their signature colors and added basic furniture, but left the rest for them to personalize. "This is so cool!" Maya yelled from the green room. "I can put my soccer trophies here." "My bookshelves will fit perfectly in this corner," Ava said quietly, measuring the space in the blue room. Zoe approached Marcus while the others explored. "This house is much smaller than your condo," she observed. "Yes, it is," Marcus agreed. "Is that because you don't make as much money now?" "Partly," Marcus admitted, "but also because I'd rather live near you girls than have a fancy place downtown." Zoe nodded seriously. "That's a good priority adjustment." Later that day, after the girls had gone home, Marcus sat on his porch swing. His phone buzzed with an email from a potential client canceling their meeting. At the bottom was a note. "We've decided to work with a firm recommended by Horizon Enterprises." Richard was still making things difficult. Marcus sighed and looked around at his new neighborhood. The house needed work, his business was struggling, and his savings were nearly gone. By any measure he would have used in his old life, he was failing. Yet just 3 blocks away were 4 little girls who were starting to trust him, to call him Dad, to include him in their lives. By that measure, the only one that mattered now, he was succeeding. His phone rang. It was Destiny. "The girls can't stop talking about their rooms at your house," she said. "Thank you for doing that for them." "They deserve it," Marcus replied. "I've been thinking," Destiny continued. "With you living so close now, maybe we should adjust our arrangement. The girls could spend some weeknights at your place too, not just weekend visits." Marcus sat up straighter. "I'd like that very much." "Good," Destiny said. "And Marcus?" "Horizon approached our lead solar engineer yesterday with a job offer, just like you predicted. We were prepared, thanks to your warning. We managed to keep him." "I'm glad," Marcus said. "We still have a long way to go," Destiny added, "but it's nice having someone who understands the battlefield." After they hung up, Marcus looked at his phone and saw an email notification from Zoe's school address. She had sent him a revised dad report card. His grades had improved significantly from that first day at the zoo, showing up on time, a honesty, B+ knowing us, a part, a listening, a trying hard, a plus overall grade, a minus. At the bottom, Zoe had written, "Much improved performance, promotion recommended." Marcus smiled. This was the only performance review that mattered anymore. Marcus pinned Zoe's new dad report card on the refrigerator of his Highland Park home, right next to the first one with its C grade. The improvement made him proud in a way no corporate award ever had. Over the next 2 months, Marcus settled into his new routine. The Quadruplets stayed at his house every Wednesday night and every other weekend. His business gained a few more clients, though his income was still far below what he had earned at Horizon. One Monday morning in May, Marcus received an exciting email from Western Global Technologies, a major company based in Seattle. They were interested in his consulting services and wanted to schedule a kickoff meeting. Marcus immediately called the contact person, David Chen. "We've heard good things about your approach to ethical business practices," David said. "Our CEO wants to revamp our entire corporate culture." "I'd be very interested in working with Western Global," Marcus replied. "Great. We'd like you to come to Seattle next week for a full day of meetings. How about Friday?" Marcus opened his calendar and saw "Talent Show" written in big letters on Friday evening. All 4 girls were performing in their school's end-of-year talent show. "I'm sorry, but I have a family commitment on Friday evening," Marcus explained. "Could we do Thursday instead?" "Thursday doesn't work for our executive team," David said. "This meeting is non-negotiable if you want the contract. Friday at 3 o'clock. Marcus did the math in his head. A flight to Seattle would take at least 4 hours. Even if he took the earliest possible meeting, he would never make it back to Chicago in time for the talent show that started at 7 o'clock. "Can I think about it and call you back?" Marcus asked. "Sure, but we need an answer by tomorrow. We have other consultants interested in the project." After hanging up, Marcus stared at his computer screen. Western Global would be his biggest client yet. The contract would solve his financial problems and establish his new firm as legitimate. 8 months ago, he would have taken the meeting without a second thought. Marcus picked up his phone and called Destiny. "The girls are really excited about the talent show," she said when she answered. "They've been practicing non-stop." "About that," Marcus began, "I have a potential client in Seattle who wants to meet on Friday." There was silence on the other end of the line. "I see," Destiny finally said, her voice cool. "So you'll miss the talent show." "I haven't decided yet," Marcus said. "It's a major client. It would mean a lot for my business." "The girls will be disappointed," Destiny said, "but they should understand that work comes first. They're used to that from me, too." Something in her tone made Marcus pause. "Are you saying they're used to being disappointed by parents who choose work over them?" "I'm saying we all make choices, Marcus. I've missed things too, running my company. It happens." After they hung up, Marcus sat at his desk, thinking hard. His mortgage payment was due next week and his bank account was getting dangerously low. The Western Global contract would change everything. His phone buzzed with a text from Sophia. "Dad, I'm playing the moon in our space play. I have a silver costume." Attached was a photo of a small silver crescent moon painted by Sophia. Marcus looked at the photo for a long moment. Then he called David Chen back. "I'm sorry, but I won't be able to make Friday's meeting," Marcus said firmly. "My daughters have a school performance that evening that I can't miss." "Mr. Johnson, this is a 7-figure contract we're discussing," David said, sounding surprised. "Surely you can miss one school event." "I made a promise to be there," Marcus explained. "I'd be happy to video conference or fly to Seattle any other day next week." "I'll have to discuss this with our team," David said, clearly not pleased. "I'll get back to you." Marcus put down his phone, unsure if he had just made a brilliant decision or a terrible mistake. That evening, he helped Sophia practice her lines as the moon. She wore a silver pajama top as a stand-in for her costume and spoke in a quiet, dreamy voice. "I am the moon watching over the earth at night," she recited. "I have seen the beginning of time and will see its end." "That's perfect, Sophia," Marcus encouraged. "You'll be the best moon ever." "What if I forget my lines?" she asked, suddenly worried. "Then you'll look at me in the audience and I'll help you remember," Marcus promised. Friday evening arrived and Marcus had not heard back from Western Global Technologies. He assumed the contract was lost. He arrived at the school auditorium 30 minutes early to get a good seat. He was surprised when Destiny waved him over to where she was sitting in the front row. "I saved you a seat," she said as he approached. "Thank you," Marcus replied, sitting down next to her rather than across the room as they usually would have at school events. "No Seattle meeting?" Destiny asked. "My daughter's talent show is more important," Marcus said simply. Destiny gave him a small smile. "I heard from Zoe that you've been helping Sophia with her lines every night this week." "She's nervous about performing," Marcus explained, "but she knows her part perfectly now." The auditorium filled with parents and families. Soon the lights dimmed, and the principal welcomed everyone to the annual talent show. Maya performed first with her soccer routine. She bounced the ball on her knees, head, and feet in a complex pattern that drew loud applause. She finished with a trick shot, kicking the ball into a small goal on stage. "That's our daughter," Marcus said proudly to Destiny. Destiny nodded. She practiced that routine for weeks. Next came Ava, who recited an original poem about family and belonging. Her clear voice filled the auditorium as she spoke about 4 seedlings growing from the same root, reaching for the sun in different ways. "Did you know she wrote that herself?" Destiny whispered to Marcus. "No," he replied, amazed. "It's beautiful." Zoe followed with a presentation about her business plan for a school fundraiser. She stood confident and poised, explaining how her 4 sisters' lemonade company would raise money for new library books. "She's definitely got your business mind," Destiny commented. "And your ethical foundation," Marcus added. Finally, it was Sophia's turn. The stage was set with stars hanging from the ceiling and planets on stands. Sophia entered in her silver moon costume, which sparkled under the stage lights. She took her position and began her first lines perfectly. Then suddenly, in the middle of her speech, she stopped. Her eyes widened with panic as she forgot what came next. The audience grew quiet. Sophia looked frozen on stage, her mouth open but no sound coming out. Without planning it, both Marcus and Destiny stood up at the same time. "You can do it, Sophia!" they called out together. Sophia's eyes found them in the audience. She took a deep breath and continued her speech from where she had stopped, her voice growing stronger with each word. When she finished, the audience erupted in applause. Sophia took a bow, her face glowing with pride. After the show, the family went to Pizza Palace to celebrate. The girls talked excitedly about their performances while sharing a large pepperoni pizza. "Did you see me score with my trick shot?" Maya asked, reaching for another slice. "Your poem made Mrs. Garcia cry," Sophia told Ava. "In a good way," Ava clarified. 3 people asked for my business card after my presentation," Zoe announced proudly. "I had to tell them I don't have cards yet." "I'll help you design some," Marcus offered. And Mom can get them printed at her office, Maya added. For the first time, they felt like a real family unit. Marcus noticed Destiny seemed more relaxed than he'd seen her in months, laughing at the girls' stories and adding her own observations about their performances. As they finished their meal, Marcus's phone rang. He checked the screen and didn't recognize the number. "Excuse me for a moment," he said, stepping away from the table to answer. "Is this Marcus Johnson?" a man's voice asked. "Yes, speaking." "Mr. Johnson, this is Thomas Wilson, CEO of Western Global Technologies. David Chen told me you turned down our meeting to attend your daughter's school performance." "That's correct," Marcus confirmed. "I respect that," Thomas said. "Family should come first. I missed too many of my own kids' events chasing success. I'd like to reschedule our meeting for next week on your terms. This kind of integrity is exactly what we want in a consultant." "Thank you," Marcus said, surprised and relieved. "I'd be happy to meet next week." When he returned to the table, he was smiling. "Good news?" Destiny asked. "Western Global still wants to work with me," Marcus explained. Apparently, choosing the talent show over their meeting impressed the CEO. "See? Being a good dad is good for business," Zoe said wisely. Just as they were preparing to leave, Marcus's phone rang again. This time the caller ID showed Sarah Martinez, his attorney. "Marcus, I need to speak with you immediately," Sarah said, her voice urgent. "Horizon has filed a legal action against Williams Tech Solutions. They're attempting a hostile takeover using confidential information they claim you provided before your departure." Marcus's blood ran cold. "That's impossible. I never shared anything with them." "Richard Blackwell has submitted emails that appear to be from you, containing internal Williams Tech documents," Sarah continued. "They've moved for an emergency injunction. We need to respond within 24 hours. As Marcus ended the call, he turned to find Destiny standing right behind him, having heard enough of the conversation to understand. "Is it true?" she asked, her expression shifting from the warmth of moments ago to cold suspicion. "Did you help Horizon plan this?" "No," Marcus said firmly. "I never shared any information about your company." Richard must have fabricated evidence. The quadruplets sensed the tension immediately, their celebration forgotten as they watched their parents' faces. "Girls, get your things," Destiny said, her voice tight. "We're going home." "But Dad was going to show us his new video game," Maya protested. "Not tonight," Destiny replied. "Plans have changed." As Destiny gathered the girls to leave the restaurant, her eyes were cold with renewed distrust. 8 months of carefully built goodwill seemed to vanish in an instant. Marcus stood helplessly, watching the family he had worked so hard to reconnect with walk away, leaving him alone with a half-eaten pizza, and the realization that his past at Horizon wasn't finished with him yet. Marcus paid the restaurant bill and drove home alone. The joyful evening had ended with Destiny's eyes full of suspicion and the girls looking confused as they were rushed away. His phone had been buzzing constantly since Sarah's call, messages from her about the legal filing and from Destiny telling him not to contact the girls until they figured out what was happening. At 6:30 the next morning, Marcus arrived at Sarah Martinez's law office downtown. She already had files spread across her conference table. "I've reviewed Horizon's filing," Sarah said as Marcus sat down. "They claim you shared confidential Williams Tech information with them before you left." "That's a lie," Marcus said firmly. "Show me these supposed emails." Sarah pushed several printouts toward him. The documents appeared to be emails from Marcus's old Horizon account, containing details about Williams Tech's solar panel project and financial vulnerabilities. "I never sent these," Marcus insisted. "Richard must have fabricated them somehow." "The timestamps show they were sent before you quit," Sarah pointed out. "Before you even met Destiny and the girls at the airport." Marcus studied the dates more carefully. "That's it," he said suddenly. "These are dated from last September, but I didn't meet Destiny until October. I couldn't have sent information about a company I didn't even know was connected to me." Sarah made notes. We'll need more than just the timeline discrepancy. We need to prove these are fake. Check the metadata on the attached files, Marcus suggested, and I want to see if the writing style matches mine. Richard isn't as careful as he thinks. As they built their defense case, Marcus's phone rang. It was Destiny. The girls have questions, she said without greeting. They want to know why we left so suddenly last night and why they can't see you this weekend. What did you tell them? Marcus asked. The truth, that there are some legal issues between your old company and mine, Destiny replied. But they want more details. Can I talk to them? Marcus asked hopefully. Not yet, Destiny said. I need to understand what happened first. Vanessa thinks this was your plan all along. Get close to me and the girls to gain information about my company. You know that's not true, Marcus protested. Do I? Destiny asked. I thought I knew the kind of man you were 8 years ago too. After Destiny hung up, Marcus threw himself into building his defense. He emptied his savings account to pay Sarah's retainer. For the next week, they worked to prove the emails were fabricated while Horizon pushed forward with their takeover attempt. On Wednesday, normally his night with the girls, Marcus sat alone in his Highland Park house. The bedrooms he had prepared for his daughters remained empty. He stared at his phone, waiting for any message from them. Finally, at 8:15, his phone buzzed with a text from Zoe. We had a sister meeting about you. Maya thinks you're innocent. Sophia is sad. Ava is reading about legal evidence. I'm waiting for facts. Marcus texted back. Thank you for telling me. I miss you all. I promise I'm fighting to clear this up. At Williams Tech Solutions, Destiny was working late into the night. Stacks of legal papers and financial documents covered her desk. Vanessa entered with coffee cups for both of them. You need to sleep, Dee, Vanessa said, placing a cup on Destiny's desk. I can't, Destiny replied, rubbing her tired eyes. Horizon is approaching our investors, suggesting we're in financial trouble. 2 clients called today asking if the rumors about our company failing are true. Maybe we should consider their offer, Vanessa suggested carefully. The buyout price is good. This company is the girl's legacy, Destiny said firmly. I built it while raising 4 babies alone. I won't let Horizon take it because of some fake emails. What if they're not fake? Vanessa asked. What if Marcus did share information with them? Destiny shook her head. He quit his job for the girls. He moved to Highland Park to be closer to them. Would he risk all that? People have done worse for money, Vanessa reminded her. At home, the Quadruplets were having another sister meeting in their headquarters. I don't think Dad would try to hurt Mom's company, Maya argued. He helps me with soccer even though he's really bad at it. But why would Mr. Blackwell lie? Zoe questioned. He's a grown-up with an important job. My book says people sometimes make up evidence when they can't win fairly. Ava offered quietly. I miss Dad, Sophia said simply. He was supposed to help me paint my science project tomorrow. 2 weeks after Horizon's legal filing, the case went to court. Judge Eleanor Peterson would decide whether to grant the injunction Horizon sought against Williams Tech Solutions. Marcus arrived at the courthouse in downtown Chicago wearing his best suit. Sarah walked beside him carrying her briefcase. They passed reporters gathered on the steps, drawn by the high-profile business dispute. Inside the courtroom, Marcus saw Destiny sitting with Vanessa and their legal team. Destiny looked exhausted. Across the aisle, Richard Blackwell sat confidently with Horizon's attorneys. When Richard noticed Marcus, he smiled slightly. Judge Peterson called the court to order, and Horizon's attorneys presented their case first. They displayed the emails allegedly from Marcus, claiming they proved Williams Tech was hiding financial problems while misrepresenting their solar technology capabilities to investors. When it was their turn, Sarah approached the bench. Your Honor, the emails presented by Horizon are fabricated, she stated clearly. Mr. Johnson could not have sent information about Williams Tech Solutions before he even knew of his connection to the company. She presented evidence showing the timeline discrepancy. The emails were dated weeks before Marcus met Destiny at the airport. Sarah also called a digital forensics expert who testified about inconsistencies in the email metadata. Furthermore, Sarah continued, the writing style in these emails doesn't match Mr. Johnson's documented communication style from his time at Horizon. Finally, Marcus took the stand. Richard watched him with cold eyes as he was sworn in. Mr. Johnson, did you provide confidential information about Williams Tech Solutions to Horizon Enterprises? Sarah asked. No, I did not, Marcus stated firmly. I had no knowledge of Williams Tech before meeting Ms. Williams at O'Hare Airport on October 15th. And why would Horizon fabricate evidence against you? Sarah asked. Because I refused to help them with their takeover attempt, Marcus explained. After I learned about my daughters, I chose my family over Horizon's business interests. Richard Blackwell threatened me when I resigned. During cross-examination, Horizon's attorney tried to shake Marcus's testimony. Isn't it true that you approached Ms. Williams to gather information after learning she was a competitor? The lawyer asked. No, Marcus replied. I approached her to meet my daughters. I didn't know about her company until after our first meeting. And yet you suddenly quit your executive position to start a competing consulting firm, the lawyer pressed. I quit because I refused to use my relationship with my children to hurt their mother's company, Marcus stated. I chose my family over my career. As the hearing concluded, Judge Peterson announced she would review the evidence before ruling. Court will reconvene at 3 o'clock, she stated. During the break, Marcus stood in the courthouse hallway alone. He had testified against his former employer, effectively ending any chance of returning to corporate America. Richard would ensure he was blacklisted, yet Marcus felt strangely peaceful about his decision. At 3 o'clock, everyone returned to the courtroom. Judge Peterson took her seat and delivered her ruling. Based on the evidence presented, I find that the emails submitted by Horizon Enterprises appear to be fabricated, she stated. The timeline inconsistencies cannot be reconciled, and the digital forensic evidence supports this conclusion. I am denying Horizon's request for an injunction against Williams Tech Solutions and referring this matter to the district attorney for possible criminal investigation into falsified evidence. Richard's face darkened as the judge continued. Furthermore, Horizon Enterprises is ordered to cease all hostile takeover attempts of Williams Tech Solutions for a period of at least 1 year. As the courtroom cleared, Marcus approached Destiny. I never betrayed you, he said quietly. I know that now, she replied. I'm sorry I doubted you. You had reason to be cautious, Marcus acknowledged. As they walked out of the courthouse together, Marcus was surprised to see 4 identical little girls sitting on a bench in the hallway with their nanny, Elena. What are you doing here? Destiny asked, clearly shocked. You're supposed to be at home. We took an Uber, Zoe explained. Elena came with us. I'm sorry, Ms. Williams, Elena apologized. They insisted on coming. They were very persuasive. Zoe stepped forward, looking directly at Marcus. We deserve to know the truth, she said firmly. Did you try to hurt Mom's company? Marcus knelt down to their level. No, I didn't. My old boss was angry that I chose you over my job, so he made up fake emails to make it look like I helped him. Why would he do that? Maya asked. Because some people think winning is more important than being honest, Marcus explained. He wanted your mom's company, and he was willing to lie to get it. Like when Tommy Jenkins cheated on the math test by copying my answers? Ava asked. Yes, like that, Marcus agreed. But the judge figured out the truth, just like your teacher caught Tommy. The 4 girls looked at each other, having one of their silent conversations. Then Sophia stepped forward and hugged Marcus tightly. I knew you wouldn't do something bad, she whispered. One by one, the other girls joined the hug. Marcus held them close, feeling the weight of the past few weeks lifting. Can we go back to our regular schedule now? Maya asked hopefully. Wednesday is supposed to be Dad's night. Destiny nodded. Yes, our regular schedule starts again today. As they left the courthouse together, Richard Blackwell was walking down the steps ahead of them. He stopped when he saw Marcus with Destiny and the Quadruplets. "You've ruined your career for them," Richard said bitterly. "Was it worth it?" Marcus looked at his 4 daughters, then at Destiny. "Absolutely," he replied without hesitation. Richard shook his head and walked away, defeated. The threat from Horizon was over, at least for now. As they reached the bottom of the courthouse steps, Zoe tugged on Marcus's sleeve. "Dad, Sophia still needs help with her science project," she reminded him. "It's due tomorrow." Marcus smiled. "Then we better get started right away." For the first time in weeks, Marcus felt truly at peace. He had stood up for the truth and protected his family. The professional price had been high, but as he walked with his daughters toward the future, he knew he had finally made the right choice. 1 year passed since the day Marcus first saw his daughters at O'Hare International Airport. The seasons changed from fall to winter, then to spring, and back to fall again. In that year, everything in his life had transformed. On a bright October morning, Marcus stood in the auditorium of Highland Park Elementary School, watching workers set up chairs for the 5th grade graduation ceremony. His daughters would be celebrating their completion of elementary school today, marking their official transition to middle school. "Do you think we set up enough chairs?" asked Principal Garcia, approaching Marcus. "It looks good," Marcus replied. "The girls invited quite a few people, though. The Johnson-Williams quadruplets always draw a crowd." Principal Garcia smiled. "They've made quite an impact on our school." Marcus nodded proudly. After the court case against Horizon ended, his life had found a new rhythm. His consulting business, Johnson Ethics Partners, had grown steadily. He now employed 3 people and had clients across the country. Many sought him out specifically because of his story, the executive who chose family over corporate success. He often used his own experiences as teaching examples in his seminars. "I was the kind of executive who believed success only looked like a bigger office or a higher salary," he would tell business leaders. "I was wrong. Destiny's company had also thrived in the past year." After Horizon's takeover attempt failed, Williams Tech Solutions secured several major contracts and opened offices in Europe and Asia. Richard Blackwell had resigned from Horizon following the court case and the subsequent investigation into falsified evidence. Most importantly, Marcus and Destiny had developed a comfortable co-parenting relationship. The girls split their time between both homes, with Marcus's house just 3 blocks from Destiny's. They weren't a conventional family, but they were a family nonetheless. The auditorium doors opened and Destiny walked in carrying a stack of programs. "The printer just delivered these," she said, handing some to Marcus. "The girls are getting ready in their classroom. Are they nervous?" Marcus asked. "Zoe is practicing her speech. Maya is bouncing off the walls with energy. Ava is reading a book to stay calm. Sophia is fixing everyone's hair," Destiny reported with a smile. "So the usual then," Marcus laughed. As parents and families began arriving, Marcus and Destiny greeted guests together. Vanessa Cooper, now much warmer toward Marcus, helped direct people to seats. Marcus's parents had flown in from Florida, thrilled to finally know their granddaughters after Marcus had reconnected with them 6 months ago. At 10 o'clock, the ceremony began. Principal Garcia welcomed everyone and explained the format. Awards would be presented first, followed by student speeches, then the official graduation certificates. "For the Leadership Award, we recognize Zoe Johnson-Williams," Principal Garcia announced. Zoe walked confidently to the stage, accepting her certificate with a firm handshake and a bright smile. Marcus noticed she was wearing a blazer over her graduation dress, looking like a tiny business executive. "The Academic Excellence Award goes to Ava Johnson-Williams." Ava approached the stage more quietly, but her smile was just as proud as she accepted her award. She was carrying a small book in her pocket, as always. "For athletic achievement, we recognize Maya Johnson-Williams." Maya practically bounced onto the stage, high-fiving the principal before taking her certificate. She was wearing her favorite sneakers under her dress. And the Artistic Expression Award goes to Sophia Johnson-Williams. Sophia walked gracefully to the stage, her dress adorned with hand-painted flowers she had added herself. She gave a small curtsy before accepting her award. Marcus felt his eyes grow wet as he watched his daughters receive recognition for their unique talents. Beside him, Destiny reached over and briefly squeezed his hand. "They're amazing," she whispered. "They are," he agreed. When it came time for student speeches, Principal Garcia made a special announcement. "This year, we have something unusual. Our quadruplets have prepared a joint speech, which they will deliver together." The four girls walked onto the stage together, standing in a line. Zoe stepped forward first. "When we were babies, we only had one parent," she began. "Our mom did everything for us. She built a company while taking care of 4 identical babies." Maya stepped forward next. "We didn't know we had a dad until last year. He missed 8 years of our lives because he made a bad choice." Ava continued the speech. "But we learned that families can change and grow. We now have 2 different kinds of families, the one we were born with and the one that found its way back to us." Sophia finished. "Our mom taught us to be strong. Our dad taught us that it's never too late to fix your mistakes. We are lucky to have both of them now." The audience applauded as the quadruplets took a bow together. Marcus wiped tears from his eyes, noticing Destiny was doing the same. After the ceremony, they held a celebration at Marcus's house. The backyard was decorated with balloons and a banner reading, "Congratulations, graduates." Family and friends filled the space, enjoying food and conversation. As the party continued, Marcus slipped inside to his office and returned with 4 small wooden boxes. He found the girls sitting together on the porch swing. "I have graduation gifts for you," he said, sitting beside them. Each box was painted in the girls' signature color. As they opened them, they discovered Marcus had collected mementos from their year together. Ticket stubs from movies they'd seen, photos from soccer games and art shows, notes they had written him, even the wrapping paper from their first Christmas gifts. "You saved all this?" Zoe asked, examining a napkin with a business idea she had scribbled on it. "Every single thing," Marcus confirmed. "I missed 8 years of your lives. I wanted to make sure I remembered every moment since then." "This is from the day I got sick at the museum," Sophia said, holding up a museum pamphlet. "And this is from my first soccer championship," Maya added, finding a team photo. "You kept the bookmark I made you," Ava said softly, touching the handmade paper bookmark. "These are better than our report cards," Zoe declared, making everyone laugh. Later, as the party wound down, Marcus found Destiny sitting alone on the porch steps. "The girls love their memory boxes," she told him as he sat beside her. "I wanted them to know I've been paying attention," Marcus replied, "to who they are, what matters to them." Destiny reached into her purse and pulled out a folded piece of paper. "Do you remember this?" Marcus unfolded it to find the original dad report card from their first zoo visit with its C's and D's. "I kept it," Destiny explained, "to remind myself that people can change." She handed him another paper, a new report card with mostly A's. "The girls made this last week," she said. "They wanted to give you an updated grade." Marcus studied the new report card with its high marks. At the bottom, all 4 girls had signed their names. "I never thought this would be my life," Marcus admitted. "A year ago I was alone in a fancy condo thinking I had everything I wanted. And now?" Destiny asked. "Now I know what really matters," Marcus said. "It's not the title on a business card or the size of a paycheck. It's the trust of 4 little girls who call me Dad." They sat in comfortable silence, watching their daughters playing in the yard with their friends. They had created something neither of them had planned, a family built on second chances and hard-earned trust. As evening approached, guests began to leave. Marcus and the girls stood in the driveway waving goodbye to his parents who were returning to their hotel. "Can we have ice cream for dinner?" Maya asked hopefully. "Nice try," Marcus and Destiny said simultaneously, then looked at each other and laughed. Worth a shot, Maya shrugged. Inside, they worked together to clean up from the party. Marcus and Destiny moved around the kitchen in an easy rhythm, putting away food and washing dishes while the girls sorted their graduation gifts. "Dad?" Sophia called from the living room. "Will you still help me with art projects when I'm in middle school?" "Of course," Marcus assured her. "That won't change." "And you'll still come to my soccer games?" Maya added. "Every single one I can," he promised. "And help me find new books?" Ava asked quietly. "Absolutely." "And listen to my business ideas?" Zoe finished. "Always," Marcus said. "Being your dad doesn't end with elementary school." That night, after Destiny and the girls had gone home, Marcus sat on his porch looking at the stars. His phone pinged with a message from Western Global Technologies confirming their contract renewal for another year. His business was stable now, built on his own terms with hours that allowed him to be present for his daughters. His phone rang. It was Destiny. "The girls want to know if you can drive them to school tomorrow for their first day of summer camp," she said. "I have an early meeting." "I'd love to," Marcus replied. "I'll pick them up at 7:30. "Thanks," Destiny said. "And Marcus? I'm glad they have you now." After they hung up, Marcus looked at the two dad report cards side by side. The first one, with its poor grades, represented the beginning of his journey. The second showed how far he had come. In 1 year, he had lost his executive title but gained something far more valuable. He had learned that success wasn't measured by corporate achievements but by being present for the small moments that made up a family's life. As Marcus went inside to prepare for tomorrow, he knew his journey wasn't over. There would be more challenges ahead: middle school drama, teenage years, college decisions. But for the first time in his life, he was exactly where he belonged. 3 blocks away from 4 little girls who had changed everything by simply existing, and by giving their father a second chance he was determined to never waste again. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen.